We didn't record that. Welcome to round 2 of Higher Standards at Aggro Games. We have Danny Seed versus Theron Lam. Hi, I'm Alfian Poon. I'm your host for today, and you're watching Higher Standards at Aggro Games. So Theron Lam, we know, is playing some sort of mono red deck-ish. Round out red, probably. Yeah, probably round out red. And Danny Seed, heard he's playing some sort of new spiky deck. It's pretty try. Then you see a very try hard player. Tries very hard to win the game. Sometimes he pulls up some tricks off his hat. If you get what I'm saying. You don't get what I'm saying, do you? Okay, sure. Anyways, let's get the timer up. Yep. And now we have game. Alright, so who's gonna go first? 4, 6. And looks like Theron Lam gonna have the head start here. Of course, Theron playing the Ramunat red deck. Going first is the first part of winning the game. But Danny C looks like he's playing the Sultai energy deck. No, not Sultai energy, Sultai Constrictor deck. The one that won the Pro Tour. Oh, I guess it is Sultai energy too. Yep, so he's gonna maul his hand. No lands, I presume. Is there fatal push on Theron's hand? I don't know. I don't know stuff. Yep, so Theron gonna shuffle Danny's deck. Look at that face. The face of pure ecstasy playing the game. Okay. Okay, I see some lands. Scry. That goes to the top? No, bottom. Okay. So Theron starts the game off with uh, Swamp and Pass. Oh, he's not playing Ramunat Red. Okay, that's interesting. Theron draws. Plays black. And here comes Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Okay. So it's gonna get 1 energy from that. Now on Danny's turn. Looks like Theron's playing some sort of strange some black deck, some sort of aggro deck. Maybe he's playing energy too. Sultai energy. Don't remember Sultai energy having that many black sources though. He's playing mono black aggro. Fail push the ballista and ballista just shoots the Glacier Siphoner. Not the best play. But we'll see. Pass the turn, wow, okay. Oh, pass the turn back to Theron. Wow, Danny not drawing the third land, it seems. Theron gonna drop the Ether Hub. Gonna give him access to whatever color mana he has. I mean, he needs right now. But what's he gonna play? I really do not know what he's gonna play because I don't know what deck he's playing. It's definitely not something on the meta network right now. The meta radar. So Danny draws, doesn't seem to be a land, passes the turn back. Yeah, does not have the black mana to cast the Wind Constrictor or any of his black spells at the moment. Here comes another Ether Hub from Theron. Wait, what's that? Oh, Night Market Lookout. That's the one where when it taps, it deals 1 damage. Yeah, so that's the black. And here comes Winding Constrictor. Very timely swamp draw off the top for Danny Seed. So Theron draws here. It looks like he's playing some sort of a mono black energy aggro deck. So it's gonna play Fill Push onto the Winding Constrictor. It's gonna prompt a Blossoming Defense on the Winding Constrictor. Does Theron have anything to say to the Winding Constrictor? Does he perhaps have any other form of removal? Or does he want to play some other card? Alright, tap 2. Scrap Heap Scrounger, pass the turn. Not a very strong showing here from Theron Lam. Perhaps even a sign of weakness, perhaps. Danny Seed now given time to develop his board even further. Taps 3 for Rishkar Pima Renegade. It's gonna get 2 counters onto the Winding Constrictor and the Renegade each. Very strong play here. The Winding Constrictor into the Rishkar always have been a strong play, always will be. Not sure what Danny is thinking about right now though. Does he want to put in? Okay. Yeah, okay, so yeah, he does go for the 2-2. Alright, so now the question is, does he want to attack with the... Oh, okay. So now he uses the Winding Constrictor as mana with the Rishkar's effect to play Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Letting him 2 mana, of course. Now, Theron's turn. He draws. Theron taking a good look at the board right now. Very unsure what he's capable of here. So Vraska's Contempt onto the snake, giving him 2 life. Still can't attack here into the Rishkar. Rishkar is a 4-4 of course, so any attack here is going to be blocked by him. Attune with Ether. Gonna take Danny up to 6 energy. Very curious though, because Danny did not take down his energy for the Glint Sleeve Siphoner draw. Perhaps he forgot the trigger, or maybe he wants to keep the energy for something else. I'm not sure. Yeah, but it seems like he's going to lay the swamp he just drew, and he's going to attack with Glint Sleeve Siphoner and the Rishkar. Sorry. Glint Sleeve Siphoner connects for 2 damage and passes the turn back to Theron. Theron draws. Looks like a lightning strike off the top. Theron not left with many options, so he just passes the turn. Does he want to attack? I think he should be attacking with the Scary Scoundrel since you're not gonna block with it either anyway. So swings in with the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Maybe he wants to Lightning Strike the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Lightning Strike onto the Glint Sleeve Siphoner. Passes the turn back. So Danny draws. He's gonna swing in for 4. And plays Walking Ballista for 2. Passes the turn. Walking Ballista for 2, not the strongest play in the world, but still a very decent play to make here. As Theron still very behind in terms of board, and I think in terms of hand as well. His hand does not look to be very good right now. Only has 2 cards in his hand. So Theron's going to swing in with the Scary Scrounger. Going to bring Danny down to 14. Taps 3. Here comes Ether Spear Harvester. Pass turn. Danny draws. He's gonna tap 4. Looks like he's gonna play Hostage Taker onto the Ether Spear Harvester. He's gonna attack with uh, both the Rishka and the Walking Ballista. And pass turn. Theron draws. Plays Glintsleeve Siphoner. Okay. Wait, did Theron take damage from the last attack? Hmm. I'll go check. Alright, looks like he has. My bad. But yeah, Ether Sphere Harvester, Rishkar, and Hostage Taker gonna swing in. Long Tusk Cup gonna enter the fray as well. Looks really bad for Theron here. Theron draws. Alright, so sinks in with the Scrap Scrounger as he should be. Down to 14. Now what he needs here is some answers for against the creatures. Some blockers or some removal or a board wipe would be nice. He needs expertise, would be really good here. Taps 4. Vraska's Contempt onto the Long Tusk Cup. Gonna gain Theron 2 life. Fail push onto the Scrap Scrounger. And now it's Danny's turn. I think Danny just wins here, right? He swings in with everything. And another Walking Ballista for 2. Yep, this looks like game. So Cruel Harvester, swinging with everything. 5. Yep, that's lethal. Right, off to game 2. Yep, very straightforward game. Danny kind of just commanded the game from the start to finish, beating up Theron with superior creatures. Now onto the sideboard. I'm really unsure what Theron is playing. Looks like he's playing some sort of black-red aggro deck, but really unsure as to what he could be playing. I see Unlicensed Disintegration. Maybe he wants to play that in the main board. Shouldn't Unlicensed be in the main board? That's a pretty strong card, right? Yeah, but anyway, he's gonna put in 3 cards, some amount of cards, I guess, into his into his deck. He's gonna board in some amount of cards. As for Danny, looks like he's gonna take out quite a bit of cards. I'm not very familiar with the new Pro Tour decks because I haven't been keeping up. My bad. I'm sorry. But Danny looks like he wants to put in some amount of removal, I guess. Yeah. The Sultai energy deck has kind of evolved into a sort of mid-rangey deck. That gives the deck lots of removal and counter spells even, beating up the other decks with bigger creatures and synergy. Theron's deck looks like it's just Ramun up red with featuring black creatures. Or maybe it's black creatures featuring Ramun up red. I don't know. Anyways, if you're just watching, you're just tuning in from YouTube, check us out on twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames as well. On Tuesdays, we have standard. On Wednesdays, we have modern. 8 p.m. Singapore time, UTC +8. If you're watching from Twitch, check out our video on demands on YouTube, youtube.com/GreyOgreGames. On Wednesdays, Mick will be casting modern with his friend, while I normally cast standard on Tuesdays alone. I'm very sad. Theron's still taking his time to sideboard though. Theron is kind of a new player, so you're gonna have to give him some space, I guess. Alright, finally, both players are drawing their 7. I'm gonna see Theron go first, which is what his deck is designed to desire, I guess. But not sure if his deck's able to beat Danny's deck, cause Theron's kind of playing a homebrew over here, while Danny is playing more or less the Pro Tour winning deck. And Theron's gonna take a Maul to 6, which kind of sets him behind even more, especially since he's going first. It's gonna be very down on card advantage. But Danny decides to Maul, I guess, because his hand has one land, I guess. Yep. So both players gonna mulligan down to 6. Very curious to see what Danny Seed sideboarded in for Theron and vice versa, cause I'm really not sure what Theron has in his sideboard even. As for Danny Seed, it's very interesting to see what his take on Theron's deck might be, what he's anticipating, what uh what what he's expecting Theron to play in his weird deck. And then he, of course, sees a really good hand and keeps the hand. I see a good hand as well. So he scries. Bottom for Danny, top for Theron. Alright, so we're gonna see Swamp into Night Market. Oh, Bomat Courier. Okay. And they're gonna swing in for 1. Pass the turn. Blooming Marsh into pass the turn for Danny Seed. Theron draws. It's gonna play his Dragon Skull Summit. Attack with the Bomat Courier. And pass the turn. So Blooming Marsh, Botanical Sanctum, sorry. And here comes the snake. So that's gonna be the first optical for Theron. Going to face the Wrath of the Winding Constrictor. We'll see fail push here though. So that's pretty good. But Korea gonna swing in for 1. Danny down to 8, down to 17, sorry. So Swamp. To another Winding Constrictor, wow, okay. So does Theron have the tools to deal with another Winding Constrictor? He needs another Fatal Push or a Lightning Strike. Or this might get out of control. But Danny's hand does not seem to be the best right now. Not having any creatures that synergize with the Winding Constrictor. The Winding Constrictor not very good if you don't have the synergy, the counter synergy. But looks like Terron's gonna make a move here right now. He's gonna play. No? Yes? No. Okay. And any moment now. So play the Swarm, okay. And tap 4. And we're gonna see Hazoret, the Fervent. Alright. So draw here for Danny Seed. Draws into Long Tusk, which is pretty good. So plays a Long Tusk and passes the turn. Okay. So now this is the time for Theron to start slamming in the damage to Danny Seed. Does he see the opportunity? Does he see the window of Danny's weakness? Danny has Essence Scatter mana left up, so another net of insurance for Danny in case Theron has another big threat. So tap 3. Here comes Bontu's Last Reckoning. Okay. That's very interesting. Alright, so there goes Pomad Courier. Theron still has 2 cards in hand, so he needs to get rid of 1 card. Pass the turn back to Danny. Vraska's Contempt. Alright, so we've got to lay a land and for the attack, apparently. Draw for Theron. Place a Swarm and attacks with Hazoret. Unfortunately, it gets turned to stone by Vraska's Contempt. Pass the turn back to Danny Seed. Danny draws. Hostage Taker, the draw for Danny. That's pretty good. And here comes Ether Sphere Harvester for Theron, which is might be a good target for the Hostage Taker, I guess, which we might see in a moment or right now. Pass the turn back to Theron. Tap 2, scrap his Scrounger, pass the turn. He's gonna play the Ether Sphere Harvester, get 2 energy. He's gonna pass the turn. Choose not to attack. Probably gonna leave the creatures behind so that Hostage Taker can crew the Ether Sphere Harvester to block the scrap his Scrounger, I guess. Also has the Balking Ballista. Can play it on 2, so he can crew the Harvester next turn. Attack on the air. Here comes Dread Wanderer. Then he draws. Place an island. Taps 3. And it's gonna play Rishka Pima Renegade. Gonna get 1+1/+1 counter onto the Hostage Taker and to the Rishka. It's gonna just swing with Rishka though, not gonna swing with the Hostage Taker. I think I might be a bit inclined to be playing more aggressively if I was Danny here. Perhaps playing a bit too slow or a bit too hesitantly with his hostage taker. Swamp here for Theron. Another Bomb Courier. That resolves. Gonna swing with the whole team here. Gonna block the Scrap Heap Scrounger. Yeah, I think I might actually want to be more aggressive if I was Danny here. I want to attack with this creature even more. So 4. It's gonna play Walking Ballista. Crew the HSP Harvester. It looks like he's gonna finally go in with the team. Get lifelink with the HSP Harvester. It's gonna be 3. It's gonna be a lot of damage. Down 8. So Theron better have another Bontu's Last Reckoning on the top, otherwise this might be game. Half his creatures can't block anyway. Right, going to combat. It's going to swing in with the Scrap Heap Scrounger and the Bomb Courier. Bomb Courier gets shot by the Walking Ballista, and it's going to crack open the Courier. Scrounger hits in for 3. Then he's down to 16. Theron, not sure. Really nothing can do at this point because Danny's board is just way too good unless he has another board wipe. Alright, it's gonna tap his mana. Oh wow, he has another one. Bontu's Last Reckoning. Wow, okay, so it's gonna shoot Theron 7. And there goes the entire board. Well, Itchfield Harvester still stays though, so that's pretty good. Then you can just play a creature, crew the Harvester and attack in. So it brings back the Scrap Heap Scrounger main phase. It plays Waller Rogue. Rogue Refiner, sorry. It's not Waller Virtuoso. Oh god, what's happening to my phone? Alright, my phone's... Oh wow. Alright, it's done spazzing out. Alright, so it swings in, blocks with the Rogue Refiner, and looks like if Danny has any creature of any sorts, then he just waits on the spot. So Walking Ballista, yep. So 3 crew attack, and then he wins. Yep. And that's it. That's game. Alright guys, thank you for watching Higher Standards here at Aggro Games. That was round 2. We'll be back with round 3. But do catch us on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 8 PM UTC +8 on twitch.tv/GreyOgreGames. Check out our YouTube as well, youtube.com/GreyOgreGames, where we have our videos on demand, sorry. All our events are up there, from RPTQs to PPTQs to daily events such as these. So yeah, do catch us there, and I'll see you guys in a bit. Bye bye.
Hello everyone, welcome back to PPTQ Dominate. Hello everyone and welcome back. Welcome back to PPTQ Dominaria here at Grey Ogre Games. My name is Mick. I'm your host for tonight. We're watching the match between Chris Tiong on the left and Sim Wei Seong on the right. These two guys are running Ramen Up Red. Okay, 4 copies. 4 copies Bomat Carrier, 4 copies Soul Scar Mage, 4 copies Earth Shaker Kenra, and this is Chris's version. 3 Karizev, 2 Harsh Mentor, 4 Uncrop Crashers, 1 Pianala, and 4 Hazaret the Fervent. 4 Shocks, 4 Lightning Strikes, and 2 Abrades. I don't think it's much different on Wei Xiang's side. Is it Wei Xiang or Wei Xiong? Wei Xiang. Okay. Alright. So okay. Let me just rectify that. It's Wei Xiang. There we go. That's much better. Wei Xiang. Oh. Okay. So 4 Bomat Carrier, 4 Soul Scar Mage, 4 Lightning Strike, 4 Shocks, 3 Karizevs, 4 Hazarets, 2 Harsh Mentors though, and 4 Earth Shaker Kenras, 4 Uncrop Crashers, and 3 Abrades. So slightly different. Definitely playing a lot more lands. Playing the same number of lands. 4 Ramen Up Ruins, 4 Sunscorched Deserts, 1 Scavenger Grounds, and 15 Mountains. So that's a total of 24 lands. Yeah. This is going to be, well, Mark likes all these like mono red versus mono red. In actual fact, I also like these mono reds versus mono reds because it's it plays very differently from your average, just random red deck versus or mono red deck, aggro deck versus some tempo deck, or aggro deck versus control. It plays very differently because it's not about both players racing. It's both players trying to just navigate that space in order to deal as much damage as you can. There we go. Swings in, puts another card under the Bomat Carrier. And no turn 2 play here. I think he wants to Lightning Strike or Shock whatever Chris wants to push out. Yep. Sunscorched Desert puts him down 19. End step, I'm going to Lightning Strike you. Okay, so being efficient with the mana. And Chris here going down to 19. To 15. Okay, so another Lightning Strike. Does he have another land? Yeah, I believe so. So Lightning Strike, Shock you, end step. I think maybe afraid of pushing out, Uncrop Crasher. That's definitely going to die. But any burn that your creature is taking is a better, is better than burn to the face, I guess. So Shock maybe. Lightning Strike gets rid of the Uncrop Crasher. That saves him 3 points of damage. And Wei Xiang is just going to pass the turn. It goes down to 14 though. Soul Scar Mage. And man, Chris's hand is pretty bad. It's just full of lands. Lands. Is there an Abrade in his hand? Oh, there's a Hazaret. So next time we're going to have a Hazaret. Soul Scar Mage, a pretty useful way to get rid of Hazarets because it puts -1/-1 counters instead of just racking up damage on the Hazaret. So yeah. There we go. Deal you 1 point of damage. You're going to go down to 13. They need to update the life total right now. So they are 13 and 19. Does he choose to bash in? Yeah, he chooses. And might want to cash it in for a new set of cards. Thinking about it. I'll take 1 point of damage here from the... Okay, lightning strike. Your guy. Okay, so it goes to 18, 18 and 13. Keeping a mental note here. So Scout Mage leaves the battlefield. Chris here choosing not to retaliate. Goes down to 12. But he has a Hazoret, so what Wei Xiang can do, does he have... Alright, so second Bomark Courier and just going to pass the turn. So likely to crack that Bomark Courier to draw some cards. Chris here just like handful of lands, but I think he can play the Hazoret right now. Oh man, this is kind of tough. It's 15 and 19. There's a lot of life still to play. So Chris here going to cast a Hazoret and just pass the turn. Wei Xiang here seeing whether he can be mana efficient, and I think he will, because that last card, oh, Shock You, bring you down to 10. So the score now should be 10 and 18. Bash. Goes down to 8. Might want to draw right now. Wow, that Bomark Courier making it. It's getting the value. Alright, so sacrifices Bomark Courier. 3, 4, 4 cards. Able to get that 4 cards. Shoot you down to 7. Has his own Hazoret. Does he want to cast it? Has Karizev, which I think he should cast it. So go down to 17, I believe. I'll get them to update the life counter. Okay. Alright, so they have updated it. Still, Chris is nowhere close. Nowhere close to emptying his hand, but he can cast a blocker in the form of Soulscar Mage, and then start dumping lands away. Maybe start with throwing the Hazoret away, but sees the writing on the wall, and every activation of Hazoret is going to deal him 2 extra points of damage, so it's not really worth it. Harsh Mentor here in the main board, a very different on both sides, of course, a very different take on the deck. So let's take a look at their sideboard. The sideboard. Okay, so let's talk about Chris's sideboard first. Alright, so 2 Glory Bringers, 2 Pianalas, 4 Rampaging Ferocidons, 2 Chandra's Defeat, 2 Chandra Torch of Defiance, and 3 Aethersphere Harvester, of which I think definitely you want the Harvester, you probably want the Chandras, and you want the Chandra's Defeat, because those can go directly to the Planeswalker herself, which will be pretty useful. On Wei Xiong's side, let's see whether there's any difference. There is quite a bit of difference. 1 Abrade, 2 Harvesters, 2 Chandra Torch of Defiance, 2 Glory Bringers, 1 Harsh Mentor, 2 Pianalas, 3 Ferocidons, and 2 Chandra's Defeat. Again, the Chandra's Defeat, the Chandra Torch of Defiance, and the Aethersphere Harvester. But he might want to keep in his Abrades. And maybe bring in another Harsh Mentor. But what do you take out? Soulscar Mage is a good way to get rid of Hazoret in some fashion. Maybe don't run the Hazorets, but the Hazorets are so strong. So yeah. Maybe don't bring in another Abrade. Keep 2, 3 Abrades. Take out 1 Karizev. Take out a few, take out the Bomat Courier. Maybe Soulscar Mage. Soulscar Mage is still good, I feel. So, 2 Earthshaker Kenras, 2 Uncrop Caches, for the Aethersphere Harvesters. Yeah, might want to take out 1 Shock. Yeah, somewhere there, or Lightning Strikes. Lightning Strikes can go to the face, but they're not very efficient at getting rid of creatures. So yeah, Bomat Couriers. So maybe you take away 1 of every 4 drop or 4 off you have, and then to put in the Aethersphere, the Harvester, Chandras, and Chandra's Defeat. So yeah, let's see.